I watched in the Senate. I was talking about this at a dinner last night here in Aspen with folks. In 1994, I watched the Gingrich Revolution smack us, and that was the beginning of the change in the life of the Senate. Up until then, we'd have dinner at Ted Kennedy's house or somewhere, and you'd have Orrin Hatch there, and you'd have John Warner and Mac Mathias at Maryland.
I was covering the Senate then.
And you'd talk about things, and you'd laugh and have a good time, and the next day, you'd work on it in the Senate. You'd get something done. And what began to happen was a vilification, a party orthodoxy, an ideological orthodoxy is a better way to put it, began to set in that said, you don't do that. You can't work with those guys. They're the enemy. We have to have power. We have to be the chairman. We have to control. And the orthodoxy worked by promising people in the base, we're going to lower your taxes. We're going to have less regulation. We're going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. We're going to have smaller government. We're going to do all these things. But it didn't happen. And then you had the Tea Party that came along because that hadn't happened and people were pissed off. And then they didn't deliver. And then you had the Freedom Caucus come along and that didn't deliver. And guess what, folks? Donald Trump represents a hostile takeover of the Republican Party that came about because people are so angry and fed up on both sides of the aisle that they see the dysfunction of the system today. And the test for all of us, everybody, nobody exempted, is whether we can put together the kind of door-to-door, grassroots, energized political effort that brings real solutions to real problems to people that will affect their lives in a way that begins to bring America back together again. I believe that is doable. I can't tell you today one single major American infrastructure project similar to what we worked on years ago in the Big Dig in Boston, because there isn't one. Jerry Brown struggling to do high-speed rail in California, state project. New York's rebuilding LaGuardia Airport, and it's a Port Authority project. But we're not doing what we need to do to build America. China's doing, 60-country, trillion-dollar Belt and Road program, rebuilding other nations, investing. We're the richest country on the face of the planet, but we are not exciting people with a vision of how you strengthen our economy, create good jobs, build that future in a way that responds to our needs.